Where we movies, we do podcasts.
Yes.
Talking about movies. That's it. I'm Scotty, that's Jordan. And we're angry.
The Academy Award nominations were released early/late last night.
I have a list.
Yeah, let's go through. So what we've done is I looked at it late last night, and if you follow me on Instagram and Twitter, I tweeted about this. I'm not going to say it just because Scotty hasn't seen the nominations yet, so
I don't follow Jordan on Twitter because I don't waste my time on Twitter.
I was not happy with the nominations. That's all I'm going to say for now. But Scotty, you've got a list.
All I know is that Jordan isn't happy with the nominations. Yes. I decided to make a short list of films that I thought might be on the list, and I'll be honest, it's not the best list, but it's the most complete list that can possibly exist.
If he does say so himself.
I'm the best authority in my own opinion.
It is true. That is true.
Other than my mum.
So hit us with what you got there, Scotty.
If I was to do the short list for ideas for nominating, so this is a very long list. Well, it's reasonably long. First of all, I would start with A Star Was Born. I think that's a safe choice for the Hollywood.
It is Oscar bait. Like, it is a good film, but it is, the classic Oscar bait type film that's Oscar been synonymous with the Oscars for the last 15, 20 years.
It's been quality. Like, everyone knows
everyone, like, everything from the performances to the directing to the writing has been lauded as quality filmmaking. So
on the trend of Oscar bait that I think should be nominated, we have First Man.
Yep. Which we are going to do a review on.
Yeah, today. Yay. Next, this was a question mark, but I think it would be interesting to talk about was Vice. So I think whether that should, because it's a very polarizing film, but that doesn't necessarily mean it shouldn't get nominated.
No.
And also,
definitely
I think, not. I also put it down because I think Christian Bale probably should be nominated for
Best Actor.
Yeah. Creed 2, I thought maybe. It was a maybe.
Creed 2 is a long shot, but I would have liked to see it go for some awards because it's like Creed 2. The first one was
that was the thing.
Really
good.
Like
the first one, it's just following on the first one. Maybe that's not good enough to get any recognition.
But then again, I mean, The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King was the last in the trilogy, and it got nominated for all the awards when the last two got snubbed. And I personally believe that the first one should have.
Fellowship of the Ring is the best. In terms of acting,
in terms of just storytelling, I feel like it was because it didn't rely on CGI. Anyway, we're not here to talk about Lord of the Rings. What's the next one?
Then I had The Mule. It's Chris. Why am I saying Chris? Clint Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood. We haven't seen that yet. It hasn't arrived over here yet until this week. I think this Thursday it comes out. We'll be doing a review next week on it though, so keep your eyes peeled for that.
Clint Eastwood. So
it's Clint Eastwood. Like, I think he's only made like one mediocre film.
He's made a few, but
like as in the director's chair. I feel like
I think like there was the Jersey Boys movie and
the Jersey. That's the one I was talking.
And
about.
Also, he made that terrible real life story last year about the terrorist event on the train where real people stopped it. Anyway,
I don't remember that one.
Maybe he just produced it. Anyway, it's my word of the month. Anyway, next I have The Favourite, which I think
is The Favourite, maybe?
Maybe.
That title has become quite on the nose, especially after the Golden Globes.
True, but at the same time, Olivia Colman, I think, should win Best Supporting Actress.
Yeah. She's fantastic.
She's fantastic.
And she's been due for awards like this for some time, I believe.
Yeah, and this is like her big, last couple of years have been a big breakthrough into big drama.
Yeah.
Big.
Yeah. Finally getting to see her flex those dramatic muscles.
And also,
on screen.
it's what's his? I can never remember his name. That
Yorgos Lanthimos.
Yeah, that.
Yes,
that.
Which Yorgos Lanthimos.
Awesome name.
He's known for being incredibly original because he did The Lobster and he also did the one. What was the one after it?
The Killing. No, what's it called?
Killing of a Sacred Deer.
Killing of a Sacred Deer. That's it.
And he's known for being incredibly original.
Yes, he's very off the wall.
Yeah.
Which is in a good way.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think we could benefit from seeing more of that kind of originality come through in Hollywood.
No, I think so too. And it's the same as is it I can't remember his name. The guy who does Mother and Black Swan as well. He's like
Darren Aronofsky. Is the name of the director.
Aronofsky.
Yes. So yeah, he does a lot of the
speaking of off the wall director, well, she's not really off the wall, but Lynn Ramsey, I think, has been a long time coming. So I was thinking,
I feel like I would, I definitely.
You
agree
were
with
never
that.
really here, and also for acting, I think Joaquin Phoenix should have a nomination in some regard.
Yeah,
I think he's one of the most
the work that he's put in the last couple of years has been.
He's been
insane.
underappreciated for a while now.
Yeah.
So that was in.
Although I feel like if he doesn't get nominated this year, it will probably be next year for the Joker.
It's funny how the Joker has become the comic book role to get nominated.
Yeah.
But that's kind of a good thing, I think.
I think it is a nice thing because the character itself is very rich. It's got a lot of stuff
so ambiguous.
Yeah.
Which is great, I think, for actors, because then they can bring in their own, they can do what they want with it. Well, to a degree, obviously.
To a degree, yeah. And I do believe that being able to have that freedom while also having those constraints, being a comic book film and all that other stuff, I think that's a good thing. Because you can't really, I don't feel like you could probably have true freedom in filmmaking if you don't have those constraints.
Yeah. A good example might be, I think, Fences, the Denzel Washington movie, which was an okay movie, but Denzel Washington was allowed to just express.
Yeah.
So
I think over the last 6 years, that has probably been his best film, I feel like, in terms of his acting, like showcasing his acting. I feel like that's probably been his best. But yes, moving on.
Yeah. Not in Game Night? Even though that's just a joke. That's a joke. It's not a real Denzel Washington.
Best original screenplay, maybe?
Yeah. Well, I didn't put Game Night down, but it could probably be nominated for a screenplay award. Yeah.
Yeah.
I put that on that. I mean, this is just my best film list.
Yeah.
So,
given what I know about the actual list, I'd say that's a really good choice.
Black Klansman, I feel like, and I also put If Beale Street Could Talk, but in my opinion, Black Klansman's like, I feel like If Beale Street Could Talk is almost like a too linear decision. I feel like the Academy Awards almost wants to give the nominations to more off-the-wall movies now. Or at least that's how I feel it should be. To
a point. I feel like I agree. I believe Black Klansman is the better film in terms of not just narrative, but construct as well.
Mm-hmm.
However, I would like to see Beale Street get nominated as well. That would be a nice.
Okay, continuing on the theme of black movies. Are we allowed to say that? Are we allowed to say that?
Let's culturally African American made films. Let's say that.
Yeah. Well, this isn't actually argument about. I'm talking. The next movie on my list was Green Book. Now, there are some arguments about. So it's Dr. Don Shirley? Is that his name?
Don Shirley, I believe so. I'll just check.
So he wanted, when it came to making a movie about him, first of all, he didn't want a movie about him or his life, per se, but he was okay with this concept being made into a movie so long as they didn't brush on other topics. So I feel like they've done their best, in my opinion, to honor that wish while still telling this story. But there's been a lot of controversy behind the scenes because of that.
There was a lot of backlash in the media when it kind of came out in the Golden Globes. It got nominated for Golden Globes.
Yeah.
Viggo Mortensen for Best Actor and Mahershala Ali for Best Supporting Actor. And a lot of media sources went up in arms because of that, because they were, it's supposed to be an African American story. It's a story about this guy.
Which is a strange thing, because this film is obviously about a relationship between two people and how it saves one of them. It's not about saving Don Shirley. It's about saving his driver.
Exactly, because
his name I can't remember.
He's played by Viggo Mortensen. I think I've got it. Tony Lip.
Tony Lip.
It's
a good name, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a fantastic name. And the reason, so many people disagree with this movie because they said, it's seen through the white perspective and it's closing off access to the African American audience, for which this story should be focused on. But at the same time, I can see the point, but for me, I see it as they're inviting an audience that would not necessarily even look at the morals of this film or take them on, and they're saying, look, we are there's more to us than our skin color. There's more to us than our social standing.
To me, it's about crossing the bridge both ways. It's about a relationship between white and black, and it's about how it can influence both in a positive manner.
Yep.
Or how both can be influenced in a positive manner. I think, from what I've gathered, the story is more about Lip's transformation than Don Shirley's. But even that, it's like, isn't that a great story? Even if it's aimed at white people, is that racist?
No, I feel like there's a point in which you've got to start going, okay, who is the target audience? And
I agree.
It's like my opinion on Christian films. I do not believe Christian films should exist because they solely cater to a Christian audience, and it's almost
the Christian
like
audiences hate them most of the time. So
most of the time, yeah. But also, it's like I'm doing this for myself. It's a very selfish thing to make a film, and it's okay to make a film like that. But you've got to be honest with yourself.
I think this brings up the bigger issue
properly.
of like when a director goes out and makes a story about anyone that's real, like what gives them the right? I think that's a massive topic.
Yeah, exactly.
Of who tells the story, who writes the history, but at the same time, we would rather a film be made than it not be made.
Exactly.
I'm glad this film exists and it's being nominated. And Viggo Mortensen, his accent is sublime.
He's a master. He is a chameleon actor, and I feel like he is underappreciated in our time. I would also, on that note of telling stories the way that they're meant to be told, like we've seen this before years and years ago with The Lord of the Rings. The Lord of the Rings was refused to be made by J.R.R. Tolkien because he didn't believe that whoever wanted to make it at the time had the ability or the creative insight to be able to do so.
And in our opinion, the movies that are made are PJs. Like,
yes,
that's not taking any away from Tolkien.
No,
that's just the way it is.
Yeah,
and it's a story that means so much to so many people, and we're all really happy those movies exist.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, Amazon's now doing a TV series. It'll be its own thing. Like it'll be on the same story, but it'll be its own thing, and it won't take anything away from the movies, and the movies I don't think will take anything away from it.
No.
At least I hope not. I think that, like, we're talking about when the Amazing Spider-Man films came out, I feel that was one of the biggest things, is like they didn't want to tread on the toes of the Spider-Man movies that came before them.
Yeah.
Almost to the point where they destroyed themselves in what they were trying to do and not do.
Yeah. Well, it's Andrew Garfield mumbling for an hour and a half. You know, like it didn't. There was no direction for that. Anyway, let's
not talk about Amazing Spider-Man.
Let's move on.
I've got Beautiful Boy, which I feel like
yes.
Yeah.
I agree wholeheartedly. That was in my mind leading up to the announcements. That was at the top of my list.
I've heard mixed things about the movie in terms of its reception. In that it felt like a movie aimed at dads, not about people suffering through drugs. And in my opinion, that's, from what I've gathered from the trailers and the stuff the story's aimed at, that's the story they're trying to tell. It's how do you deal with a family member? It's not about the family member themselves.
Yeah.
It's about
I feel like along those lines.
Sorry, I should point out.
Yes.
Dealing with drug issues.
Yes.
Because otherwise they won't know what we're talking about.
Yes, yeah. See what we do for you people. We pander and we talk down to you to make you guys feel special. On Beautiful Boy, that's one of the things that I really liked. Like, we've seen so many other films try to tackle just drug abuse.
Yeah.
And I think that way of looking at it has been done to death. It's time to move on. It's time to see something a little different. And Beautiful Boy, for me, felt like a truthful, complete film.
Yeah.
And for that reason, I really liked it. You okay to move on?
Yeah, no.
Because I've got one of my own that I think should be on this list.
Okay, well, let me finish my list and then we can talk about yours.
I was just going to add it because we were just talking about Black Klansman and... If Beale Street Could Talk. And along those lines, I believe that there's another film out there that came out last year called The Hate You Give. And I believe this should be considered on the list.
Okay.
Because it is a.
Now, should it be considered on the list because it's a good film, or should it be considered on the list because it's an African American movie?
It should be on the list because it is a good film.
Okay.
And it was made by some very, very talented African American actors, director, and.
So my
writers.
problem with it is I hadn't heard about it until you brought it up, and
yes.
I think that might be the problem with this movie is it just didn't get enough publicity.
Yeah, publicity. And I agree with you, but at the same time, in America,
It did.
It definitely did. It got
Okay.
quite a lot of publicity. It just wasn't worldwide publicity.
Okay.
So that's my argument. I think it should be on the list.
My next... Oh, I skipped my horror movies. So the three-ish
Yes.
horror movies. So there's The House That Jack Built, which is the serial killer movie.
I haven't seen that actually.
Which I think maybe I just wanted to put that on there because of the genre. But then there was A Quiet Place and Hereditary. Now...
Let's talk about Hereditary for a bit, because that film got incredibly positive reactions from not just the film industry but the critics.
Yep.
And it got extremely negative reactions from the viewers.
Because it's not a popcorn cinema horror movie. I think that's the problem, is horror has become so... For its audiences, it's become one thing, and it shouldn't be that one thing. It shouldn't be this jump scare on its face value horror movie. It should be about what goes on underneath. It should be about psychological issues. It should be about perspective on things. Because that's, I think, what classic horror movies used to be before slasher movies came in and stuff like that. And Hereditary is a callback to those, and also it's so wonderfully shot. It's brilliant performances by Toni Collette and all the other actors. It's freaky. It freaks you out. You come out of that movie thinking about it. Like...
I feel like because I haven't seen it yet, and the trailer alone had me incredibly squeamish.
Yeah.
But it wasn't because of the. It was reminiscent of The Witch, which came out in 2017.
In my opinion, it's in terms of reception and what type of movie it wants to be, it's very similar to The Witch.
Yes. And after I saw The Witch, I loved that film, but that also got some pretty negative reactions from the audience who believed that they wanted more scares.
It's
and all
almost
this other
like we
stuff.
need a new genre name just for...
I feel like we do. I think we need YA horror films to become a genre all its own, because
Well, it is. Death Day is a YA horror
exactly. But those films are the ones that these people want to see. They're the adrenaline rush films. They're the ones that, you know, attempt to OD you on your own adrenaline.
But the thing is...
And I hate those films. To be honest, I think they are a far cry from the horror films that we used to have. And these films, such as Hereditary, The Witch, It Follows is another one that really focused on
Babadook
that.
has that
The
element as well.
Babadook, yeah, and a lot of, pretty much every single one of those films was poorly received by audiences.
But at the same time, like, you look at the only horror movie ever to get Oscar nomination recognition, and that's Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, and which is a psychological thriller. Like, well, it does, like, the reason why it is a horror film is because of that bomb under the table aspect of the filmmaking,
which in my opinion is good, because that's the other thing that A Quiet Place, A Quiet Place is actually different to Hereditary in terms of
Did we mention A Quiet Place was on Scotty's list? I think.
A Quiet Place is also on my list because I think that did something so special for cinema, in that you would go to that movie and no one was making a sound. It was... You didn't want to make a sound.
You could hear a pin drop in that.
And that film has plot holes and a few issues, but I think as an experience, it's like the same as Gravity, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Where it was... Like, Gravity was a roller coaster ride of a movie at the cinema. Whereas, for me, A Quiet Place was... You went in there and you experienced the movie. It was an experience. It's a cinema experience. It's a film experience.
And as far as...
And I think they're important.
Yeah. And as far as plot holes go in films like that...
It's not that big.
I don't see them as plot holes. I feel like, for me personally, I see them more as the director saying we need to give priority to our main, the main thing of what we're trying to say.
And we're going to talk about a movie later today that also has some issues like that. May be directed by M. Night Shyamalan. So after those horror movies, I was like, okay, I got into the period pieces. I already talked about the favorite, but the other one is Mary Queen of Scots, which apparently has fantastic acting.
Yes.
Saoirse Ronan, Margot Robbie. Apparently David Tennant has a small role, which he's apparently brilliant in as well.
Oh, that's awesome. I love seeing David Tennant like on the big screen. I think that's I love it. It's so good.
Then we had more question marks. Searching, the John Cho?
Yeah, I know which one you mean. I can't remember his name now. Searching,
which was a surprise movie of last year, which is a smaller film. Once again, I think it would be nice if...
John Cho, yeah,
that's right. Why did I say Josh?
I don't know. Doesn't matter. I still haven't seen it, but from what I've heard, it exceeds a lot. It exceeded a lot of people's expectations of what a film like that should be.
Now, a movie I don't have on the list.
Yes.
What's it called? The action movie.
Mission Impossible?
No.
Upgrade.
Upgrade, yeah. Upgrade, I think, is a movie that maybe not best film, but maybe it should get...
Best original screenplay, maybe?
Yeah, maybe... What I'd like to see nominated for is, like, best scene construction or, like, best choreography or something like that.
Is there a best choreography?
I don't know. That's the problem. There are things you'd like to get nominated for where there just simply isn't an award necessary.
I believe strongly that because of the skill of a lot of choreographers and stunt doubles and all this other stuff, I believe that should be a category in the Academy Awards now, because we're seeing a lot more action films come out. We're seeing a lot more superhero films come to the forefront, and I feel like that is a category that needs recognition.
Yep. Okay, and on the would it be put on here, I had Roma.
Yes.
Now, Roma is a Mexican movie.
Yes, it is.
And it's not in English.
No.
So I'm guessing it is on the foreign language.
Yes.
I'm wondering if it would be on best film, because in my opinion, if this film... Oh, also it's a Netflix movie. So
yes, it is a Netflix movie.
There's so many issues with this movie.
But also, because it's a Netflix film, I feel like we should talk about Annihilation.
Oh yeah, Annihilation as well. But that's the thing. Is like I feel like Annihilation for me, it's like it wouldn't be on best film, but it'd be on best original screenplay or something like that.
Yes. If I was, that's exactly how I would put it. It's best original screenplay. It definitely should.
There's
be
some
up there.
fantastic cinematography in it as well.
Yes,
but cinematography is another one of those awards. It's so hard to pin down because there's so many movies that you feel like should be on that list, and I feel like aren't.
I mean, the last couple of years,
the last
15 to 20 years, Roger Deakins has been snubbed so many times. I can't even count how many times he's been snubbed. And to be honest, consistently, he puts in some of the best work as a cinematographer across the board. And he is always edged out by either the Flavor of the Month film or someone who is like just that little bit more where you kind of can't go, oh, which one's better than the other? I can't decide, so we'll go with this one.
Which is funny because
Emmanuel Lubezki is another one where I'm like, yes, he deserves the Academy Awards for Best Cinematographer because he's done fantastic work. But coming up against Roger Deakins, that's what edges him over Roger Deakins, I feel.
I feel it does come down to the individual movies that they do each year. But at the same time, it's funny how the Academy Awards actually has a track record of eventually giving in, and it's not giving an award away, even if it's not for the right movie.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
we can talk about that as well. Anyway.
Yeah.
So he's still angry. I'm still going down my list.
I'm not happy with this.
Boy Erased. What is that movie?
Boy Erased. That was the film by Aussie director.
Oh, that's right. It's about the kid who comes out gay as the son of a pastor or whatever.
Yeah, son of a pastor. He gets sent away to re-education camp, and we get to explore his relationship not just with the camp officials, but with the boys that are forced to be there. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it yet. I'm not sure when it came out, but I agree. I feel like this is a topic.
It's a very popular topic at the moment. So.
And it also seems like a film, from what I've heard from other people, it seems like a film that has handled it very well. It doesn't... Yeah.
It's not preaching a message, it's just...
Yeah, it's telling how it is.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Okay. Then I put possible nods to Avengers, Age of Ultron, because...
Yeah, I can see it in the CGI or not even set decoration.
Even in best film, they could have put a nod in. Just like it's never going to win, but let's just put it in. And then
I have some news for you, Scotty.
Okay.
Oh
dear.
Some news for you.
And then I was thinking, well, animations. Once again, in my opinion, movies that are almost always overlooked for best film or animations. Now that they've got, once again, like foreign movies, now that they have their own award, let's not put them in best film, which I think is
dumb,
highly inappropriate.
Dumb. Because there's at least 2 films that came out last year that I personally believe
Spider-Verse
should be... Yep.
And Isle of Dogs.
Yep.
Both of them are much better than a lot of the movies we've already talked about, and they are all fantastic movies. Yep. I would say are...
I honestly think they should be at least... they should be Best Picture nominations if they're going to... And that's the thing, like, if you're going to nominate for one category, why not for the other?
Yeah.
But there is something I'm going to be talking about that as we get to the actual list.
Was my list.
So, Scotty.
Okay, here we go.
Do you want to hear the actual list?
Yes.
What do you want to start with? What do you want to start with?
No, just give me.
Just give it a best
give
picture.
It to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's watch Scotty's reactions as I read these out.
I will be temperate. No.
Okay, the first film that has been nominated for Best Motion Picture of the Year.
Mm-hmm. If it's Bohemian Rhapsody,
It's Black Panther.
what the f? No, seriously.
First time we've heard Scotty swear on
Seriously,
the podcast.
what the hell? Like, Black Panther is a good movie. It is not better than any other. Like, it's not better than Avengers, and it's not better than Spidey. And also, if that's on the list as the black movie,
Hold on. The token black movie? Is that what you're going to say?
if that's the token black movie, I'm.
Hold on.
pissed.
Hold
No.
on. Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. We
going.
have more.
Okay, keep going.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, that's just so stupid. Keep going.
Okay, now we're getting to the more reasonable ones. We've got Black Klansman.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad they got nominated.
We've got The Favourite.
Good. Now, those two, I'm very happy they're both on the list,
Yeah.
because actually I was worried that they weren't.
Yeah.
Both of them. So keep going.
We've also got Green Book.
Excellent. I mean, that just makes sense.
A Star is Born.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Vice, which I thought was an interesting choice. I'm not sure.
I'm glad it's nominated because I think
I-
that shows openness to discussion.
Yep, I think I agree. It should be on the list. Then we have, I think that's all of them. Oh, okay, we got one more two more. Did I say The Favourite?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I already said The
Green
Favourite.
Book.
Okay, and the final one is Roma
Oh,
for Best Picture.
excellent.
Yeah.
So that makes me happy. Okay, so
See,
Black Panther and Bohemian Rhapsody. Oh,
my disappointment is with those two, but I am also like with the list currently
It could
the
be
way
worse.
it is. With the list currently the way it is, it could be worse, but at the same time, because we have Black Panther and Bohemian Rhapsody on the list, as well as Vice and Roma.
So I understand-
I feel like there is at least Vice or Roma could have been dropped for another film.
really?
I believe so, especially Roma, because it's already been nominated for Best Foreign Film, and we have plenty of other films that are better than 3 other films on this list.
Yeah, that's true. But we haven't seen Roma, and I do.
Yeah.
There's so many people who say it's the best movie that they've seen this year. So
That's true. Maybe we should do a review on that.
we should.
Maybe that could be next week.
Maybe we can do
alongside The Mule.
Yes. So Mule didn't get nominated, but we haven't seen it
Mule
yet.
didn't-
We're going to
Mule
do that
didn't
next
get
week.
nominated.
Fair enough. Hereditary or Quiet Place, in my opinion, like even if they're just doing one, they should be there instead of Bohemian Rhapsody. The fact that why? Seriously.
Also, Black Panther also got nominated for production design. Avengers is nowhere in sight. The only nomination that Avengers got nominated for was CGI.
Well, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
But yeah, it's achievement in visual effects nominees: Avengers, Infinity War, Christopher Robin, First
I mean,
Man.
Winnie the Pooh looks like Winnie the Pooh.
First Man. I feel like First Man is one of the only ones on this list.
Oh wait, is First Man not on that list either?
No. First Man is for achievement in visual effects.
It's
but
not on Best Picture.
It's not on Best Picture. Ready Player One was in Best Visual Effects as well. It was okay, but I don't think it deserves that.
I don't really care.
No. Best Adapted Screenplay nominees were The Ballad of Buster Scruggs,
That's good.
which I think is a great choice. At the same time, I think The Ballad of Buster Scruggs should have been up for Best Picture, in my opinion. I think it should have been on the list, especially given the other two.
Oh wait, hang on.
nominations
First
that
of
are
all, have they fit? Is this a complete list? Have they?
there. This is the final list.
No. I mean, so sometimes in the past they've not put as many pictures on the list as they could have. Is
Yeah.
this list? Have they actually filled it up though?
What do you mean by filled it? This is the final list. Like they're not going to change it
So
from
for best
here on
film,
out.
I think they have 8 films they can nominate. Is
Yes.
it? So do they have 8 on the list?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay,
Yes.
that's good. At least they filled it up. But still,
They could have filled those 2 slots. With
I'm
something
sorry, but
far
Bohemian
better.
Rhapsody and Black Panther should not be on those lists.
Let's talk about that.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Black Panther is. Don't get me wrong. It is decently written.
It's a good movie.
It is decently
It's just
shot.
not-
It is decently acted, but it does not deserve a Best Picture nomination. I feel like Ryan Coogler. He's an amazing director. He did Creed, the first film, and he also did Fruitvale Station.
Yeah.
Both fantastic movies, and both of those films are better than Black Panther. I feel like the action sequences in Black Panther are its weakest point. I don't feel like they did anything with those action sequences that hadn't already been done before.
It is on the list because it was a black blockbuster.
Yes. And I feel like that is the greatest shame here because it's not going to win Best Picture. It's a joke that it got nominated. It's almost like the Academy is trying to apologize for something, and I don't know what.
I mean, the Moonlight won last year, and 2 years ago.
2 years ago, yes.
And although there was a massive, one of the biggest Oscar screws of all time,
yep,
which is hilarious. That's how all I find about it, is that it's hilarious.
Yep.
But they still gave it to Moonlight, and the response from even the people in La La Land was excellent. We are happy that this movie won.
Exactly.
A gay black movie, fantastic. If
you're going for Oscar, if you're going for Oscar bait, ticks all the boxes. But if you're going for an actual good film, it also ticks all the boxes.
If Beale Street Could Talk,
yes.
If Beale Street Could Talk was there instead of Black Panther, I'd be so much happier.
Yeah.
If that other movie you were talking about, The Hate We Give,
The Hate You Give,
The Hate You Give was there, that would make sense to me as well. But so it feels to me that it's on the list simply because it is a movie with a massive black cast that was wildly received.
Yeah,
and wildly watched.
But you're always going to get that if you put the marketing power that you have in Marvel and Disney behind a film. It is always going to get that reception. I feel like even if it's, I mean, we take a look at the DC films. Aquaman got like crazy good reception from audiences. Like, but that's not going to be a Best Picture nomination. Like, come on.
Well, let's be fair. Black Panther is a lot better than Aquaman.
Oh yeah, I'm not disputing that. But what I'm saying is the power of the producers should not dictate whether a film gets nominated or not. Mm-hmm. And based solely on that, I don't believe Black Panther deserves its place in the Best Picture nominations.
You know what also has a black superhero protagonist?
What?
Spider-Verse.
Yes.
Better movie.
Yep. Way better movie. Way better movie.
Okay, I want you to tell me the animations, because if Isle of Dogs and Spidey aren't on that list, I will be pissed off as well. Just hit me with a list, because I feel like it's weird. I almost care more about this list now than the Best Picture list.
Oh, definitely. After hearing the Best Picture list, I'm severely disappointed in it.
Wait, Bohemian Rhapsody. Why?
Here we go. Okay. Incredibles 2 is on the list, which I think that's I think that's a good choice. Isle of Dogs is on the list. Mirai is also on the list, which is a great choice. Yep. Ralph Breaks the Internet, poor choice. I think that's a bad choice in terms of nominations. Mm-hmm. And Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse is on the list.
Why do people like Wreck-It Ralph 2?
Wreck-It Ralph 2, I believe, is from what I've heard is okay. I stayed away from it because I hated the first one.
I liked the first one. I saw the second one. I was bitterly disappointed. It is commercialism in a nutshell.
So it's commercialism movie-fied.
Yeah.
It's the movie version of commercialism.
And it should be everything the Oscars should be, I would think, would be trying to not be promoting in cinema.
I feel like, especially with animated films, the last couple of years, we've seen the nominations go, okay, here's the top 4. Hold on.
Wasn't that their argument for one of the biggest arguments for not putting the Lego Movie on the list?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was the best animated movie of that year, and it didn't even get on the list.
Yeah. And I feel like the reason why is because of the animation style. I feel like they went, oh, this isn't true animation, or this isn't this, or this isn't what we believe to be, conceptually the norm, so we're not going to even bother with it. It happens all the time. Like, comedies haven't been nominated for Academy Awards in friggin' years because of this kind of shit.
Well, actually, you could argue that The Favourite is a comedy. You could argue that...
Oh, no, I mean, post, 3 years ago, we didn't see any comedies being nominated whatsoever.
Yeah, it was all hard dramas.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing.
There's nothing wrong with that, but at the same time... This is just... with animated films, especially the list for animated films, it's like they get their top 4 films, and then they're like... just fill the 5th spot with whatever. Like, just pick a random film from this list.
But what's sad is I think that was the reason that Mirai is on that list. Is that they were just picking that. Oh, let's put a token Japanese production on the list. Anyway, but
I can see that. I would
let's talk about Thor Ragnarok, because in my opinion, That movie was the best comedy of that year.
Yeah.
Was that 2017?
I think that's 2017.
So first of all, 2017 was a chock full. That was a very good year for movies.
Yeah, it was a very good
So
year.
I can understand that not being nominated for best film, best picture.
Yeah,
but,
2017 film came out at the end of 2000.
But at the same time, like for me, that is a movie that I would never expect to get nominated. But at the same time, it's such a fantastically made movie. One of the best scripts, funniest movie of that year, and that was a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
In my opinion, far better than any of the Marvel films that came out this year, to be honest.
I think Spider-Verse is as good, is it?
Spider-Verse is more of a Sony production.
It's
that's what I'm
Marvel.
like.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm picturing.
Yeah,
I'm basing it on the production company.
Avengers 2, I mean, Age of Ultron Part 1 was, I don't know, I mean, it's Avengers 3, isn't it? Whatever.
Avengers 4, technically, if you're looking at Civil War. But yeah, I think it deserves way more than it got, especially on this list. It only got nominated for one thing.
It is a better movie than Black Panther. I'm sorry, that's just, in my opinion, that's just how it is.
I 100% agree with you. It definitely is a better picture overall than Black Panther, especially considering how much of the cast that they needed to work with and all this other stuff, and still create a cohesive story out of that. I feel like that's a feat in and of itself.
It is.
But Black Panther shouldn't be here. But let's talk about Bohemian Rhapsody. That film.
There is nothing.
That's even worse than Black Panther.
No,
that gutted me when I was reading that out. That gutted me more than when I read it. Rami Malek did get nominated for Best Actor.
That's all they should have done.
That's exactly. He deserves that role. He deserves to get nominated for that role. But the film is, I'm sorry, it's a shambles. It's not a good film. It's not well made.
It's not.
The intention was literally just didn't make any sense. They treated the whole AIDS thing like it was a punishment on him for being gay.
Also,
it was poorly handled.
They changed the storyline of what actually happened just to make their own storyline work, which is fine in some mockumentaries.
Yeah.
But this changes the very fabric of Queen. That's the problem. Queen is a worse off band for this movie existing, and that is, in my opinion, the biggest shame.
Yeah, it didn't feel like a truthful telling of a story at all. It felt like they were trying to hide something the whole way through. And as someone, like for me, I value truth in a film. If the actors believe it, if the director believes it more importantly, and if the rest of the cast and crew believe in this film, I will be like, okay, I can understand that. But it felt like they were trying to lie. They were trying to hide something underneath the surface.
It's just a straight up bad movie.
It's terrible.
No, okay. I have heard people go along and say, okay, it wasn't that bad. It was like a 7 out of 10. But at the same time, it's like, okay, if it's a 7 out of 10, then it's a 7 out of 10. Yeah. That's not a movie that gets onto the Best Picture Award list.
No. Definitely not. I wouldn't say
you haven't hit me with the Best Actor or Supporting Actor list.
No, I haven't. I will do that right now.
So people I'd like to see on the list are, well, Rami Malek, but Christian Bale, Viggo Mortensen, Mahershala Ali's probably there because he's always there, and it's fine. He's always good. Saoirse Ronan, Olivia Colman, Margot Robbie might be there. I don't know. That's a question mark. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I've got the list right here.
Yep.
So we've got lead actor Christian Bale for Vice.
Yep.
Bradley Cooper for A Star Is Born.
Yep.
Willem Dafoe for At Eternity's Gate. Rami Malek for Bohemian Rhapsody, and Viggo Mortensen for Green Book. The lead actress nominations are Yalitza Aparicio for Roma.
Excellent.
Glenn Close for The Wife. Obviously.
Yeah, that makes sense too.
Olivia Colman for The Favourite.
Yep.
Lady Gaga for A Star Is Born.
Yep.
Melissa McCarthy for Can You Ever Forgive Me, which I heard was one of the best performances she's ever given in her career. So I'm behind that. It wasn't a comedy, it was a drama. It's one of her first dramas in a while.
But who's not on that list?
Who's not on that list?
Well,
let's go through the
supporting. Ronan's not there.
No, she isn't. Let's go through the best the supporting actor and supporting actress at the moment, and then we'll come to who was left off after.
Yeah.
Mahershala Ali for Green Book. Adam Driver for Black Klansman.
Nice.
I feel like that's a nice nomination. I feel like he could have gotten it earlier on in his career for quite a few other films.
I think that's nice. We'll just...
that's good. I'm happy with that. I'm happy that he's finally getting recognition.
I want to see who else is on the list, first of all. So.
Sam Elliott for A Star Is Born.
Okay.
Richard E. Grant for Can You Ever Forgive Me. Sam Rockwell for Vice. Best Supporting Actress, Amy Adams for Vice. Mm-hmm. Obviously, I think she's always a shoo-in.
Is she? She wasn't when Arrival came out.
Yeah. I think every year since then has been an apology to her for snubbing her, which I believe she shouldn't be snubbed. Marina Di Tavira for Roma. Regina King for If Beale Street Could Talk.
Oh,
which is nice. Emma Stone for The Favourite and Rachel Weisz for The Favourite. Now, Best Director, which is interesting.
Wait, so Olivia Colman... Oh, she was
Best Actress.
Okay.
Best Director. This is going to throw you for a loop because half the list from Best Picture aren't even on here.
That doesn't... Well, that's not necessarily a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad thing, but at the same time, I feel like some of these films that are mentioned...
Okay,
for the Best
give me
Director.
the list.
Okay, Spike Lee for Black Klansman.
Fair enough.
Pawlikowski, I'm sorry if I screwed that up, for Cold War. Yorgos Lanthimos for The Favourite.
Yeah.
Alfonso Cuarón for Roma, and Adam McKay for Vice.
Huh.
Yeah, interesting list.
Weird
interesting
list.
that Bohemian Rhapsody and Black Panther's directors were both left off it.
No, that's not surprising in the slightest.
No. What I'm saying is,
Yeah, I
like,
know.
if you like, Best Picture often goes also to the Best Director.
So, who? Once again, who's not on that list? I wouldn't mind a nomination for the director of Hereditary.
Yeah,
First-time director. That would have been nice to be there.
it would just have been nice to see Hereditary on the list
Adam McKay.
anywhere in this.
Vice. I mean, that's fine. Adam McKay's there. Spike Lee, tour de force from Black Klansman in terms of the direction.
Yep. Great.
In fact,
direction. I
if
feel
it had been left off Best Film and it had got Best Director, I think I wouldn't be that angry at it.
no.
I'm glad Alfonso Cuarón's there. But Lynn Ramsey's not there, and you know who else isn't there? Joaquin
Who?
Phoenix on the Best Actors.
Yeah.
I noticed that straight away as well. That's...
What are you guys doing? And this goes back to, like, you know, Gary Oldman for being snubbed 5 years in a row suddenly gets a nomination for his biopic of Winston Churchill.
Yeah. He got nominated for...
he did get nominated previously.
Smiley, Tinker Tailor.
Yeah, Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. But a lot of, like, this is what the Academy does. They don't recognize
That's it, isn't it?
somebody.
That's Gary Oldman's 2 nominations.
Yeah, that's it. It's
ridiculous.
pathetic. It's honestly pathetic because this Gary Oldman,
We could tie
Joaquin Phoenix. I believe, for me personally, after seeing a lot of indie films that Chris Pine is in, I feel like Chris Pine is also being snubbed massively across the board. There's so many other actors out there that should be getting these nominations, and so many actors that are getting these nominations that should be given a miss, in my opinion.
So it's nice that Adam Driver's there
Yes.
in Best Supporting, but once again, I'm wondering if there are... Like, I'm happy he's there, but...
I wanted him to be there for The Driver last year.
Yeah.
He should have been there for like... I mean, what does a guy have to do to actually properly earn an award?
Okay, well, let's think of... Okay, let's go through the lists and think of who we would want to win.
Yes.
Because I think we might have different opinions, and that's an interesting topic.
So
I'm
of the current list, is that what you're asking?
Trying to change my own...
Okay.
point. I'm trying to make myself happy right now.
All right, my predictions... both.
Oh, okay.
What I want, I'm going to do it twice. What I want to
And what
win,
you think will win.
and what will probably win.
Okay, no, that's
for
a
me.
good... I like doing that as well.
Yeah.
My brother and I used to do this every Oscars.
Yeah.
That was how we do it, because it would be... And it would always have different ones. It was like hardly ever it would hardly ever be the same movie.
All right, so out of those ones, my pick that I want to win out of all of those is definitely Black Klansman for me personally, and what I think will win, if we're judging based upon previous trends, I think A Star Is Born is probably going to win.
I want either The Favourite or Roma to win, but I think Star Is Born is going to get it too.
Lead actor, I think. I want Viggo Mortensen to win, but I feel like either Christian Bale will win or Rami Malek will win.
Okay.
I think they're probably going to lean more on Rami Malek because I don't believe they're going to give Best Picture to Bohemian Rhapsody.
You know who wasn't on Best Director? Bradley Cooper. That's actually interesting.
Yeah, given the list of Best Directors.
I'm surprised he's not there. Anyway, Viggo Mortensen, I think I want him to win as well. I'd be fine if Christian Bale won it. I'll just say I think he'll win it.
Yeah. I also but they always go like with breakout performances like Rami Malek's. I feel like he's probably tying with Christian Bale at this point for winning.
I don't know.
You take a look at what's his name.
No, I feel like there's going to be counterlash about Bohemian Rhapsody for just being there.
Oh yeah. Well, I hope so, but you never know because that doesn't matter.
I hope there is.
Lead actress, I think.
I should say I don't want to take anything from Rami Malek.
No, of course not.
We don't blame him for Bohemian Rhapsody. He still did his stuff.
Like, I think all the actors in that film did their jobs really well, and they exceeded the script that they were given. But again, it was the script.
Yeah.
It's a bad script.
Lead actress, I want Olivia Colman to win.
I agree. I want Olivia Colman to win.
I'd be happy if the Roma actress won.
I think she will win. I
actually don't know who will win this time. Maybe Glenn Close.
Maybe Glenn Close. Actually, it's really close.
That's actually a close one. That's a good list.
One.
Well done. I suppose that's actually a good list.
That's probably the best list you've come up with for this year.
I'm sure there's stuff that should be on there too, but still, that's not a bad list.
Supporting actor, I reckon.
I mean,
I want Mahershala Ali to win again, or Adam Driver. I think I'd be happy, but I don't think they will.
No, I think Mahershala Ali will.
I think Mahershala Ali's got
I
a
want
better chance
Mahershala
than
Ali,
Adam
and I actually
Driver.
think he will win it.
Yeah. Okay.
He's just everyone knows he's good.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, okay, like for me, everyone will look at the list and say, okay, there's Mahershala Ali. Is there anyone here who I would pick over him? And they're like, Sam Rockwell on the list?
Sam Rockwell is on the list, yes, for Vice.
No, I think they're going to give it to Mahershala.
Yeah.
Good. You know, he is whoever his agent is, top dollar because his pickings of what to be in, fantastic. Anyway.
I don't think he's ever been in a bad film/TV show yet. So.
Well, he is in Alita, and it could be good.
That
could be bad.
But that also could be Mahershala Ali going, you know what, I'm going to actually have some fun this time instead of...
but the cast for that movie in general is actually really good.
Anyway. For Best Supporting Actress, that's actually another good... That's another good list, I feel like. I mean, Amy Adams always puts in a solid performance.
No. They might give it to Rachel Weisz simply because... Once again, she's deserved an Oscar for a while now.
Yep, that's true. I think, and Emma Stone's already won one.
Yeah.
I think Rachel Weisz would probably get it. If they're up for apologizing to actresses.
I don't know.
This year.
That's a very close list.
But yeah, it's a very good list. Best director. Personally, I think Spike. I would want Spike Lee or Alfonso Cuarón to win. Yeah. But I think
no, I actually think Yorgos has got it.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I think Yorgos Lanthimos is probably going to win this.
That's
one.
if he does, that's really good. I'd be very happy if he won. So once again, I'm ambivalent to actually who I want to win because that list's pretty tight. I mean, I don't want Adam McKay to win.
Yeah.
Well, it's not that I don't want. I just compare to the others, I don't want him to win.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like also in terms of his career, he's made better films before Vice.
Yeah.
That's not taking anything away from Vice, but I feel like this film is not his best work.
No.
Animated feature. Let's say it at the same time. 1, 2, 3. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
If Isle of Dogs wins, I'll not be unhappy.
No, exactly. But it's honestly a race between those two. And if either of those two do not win...
If Wreck-It Ralph or Incredibles 2 win this fucking award, I'll be so pissed off. No, I'm not joking. My lid will burst.
I wouldn't be too... I will be a little bit disappointed, but I won't be too disappointed if Incredibles 2 wins, but I do not believe it is the best picture on this list. It is
a third or fourth.
Yes. I think, especially with Mirai on the list, I think it is a fourth. We got adapted screenplays if you want to talk about that. But it's not really that. No. It's not a big award. But yeah, I think that's pretty much 2019.
So let's talk about cinematographer because we were curious about that.
Yeah, let's talk about cinematography. Okay, so we've got Cold War.
Which is the second time
Lucas Stahl.
We'll have to watch that then.
If it's on Best Director and Best Cinematography, I feel like it probably should be Best Picture as well. At least
maybe the acting's let it down. Maybe
I doubt it though, because when you get to like this level of filmmaking, the actors are always on point.
It's probably
a
thingy cast, a large cast.
Yeah.
Of small roles. That's probably what it is.
We have The Favourite, Robbie Ryan for The Favourite.
Yep.
Caleb Deschanel for Never Look Away. I'd never even heard of that film.
Me neither. So that's interesting.
Alfonso Cuarón for Roma. I didn't know he was also the
I did know that.
That's a lot of work for one man.
That's one of the reasons I was like, Roma was a big question mark in my mind, and I am very happy with how the Academy has treated it.
And
Still animated movies.
Matthew Libatique for A Star Is Born. I feel like I'm at odds with this list as well. I don't like some of the names that are popping up in favor of, not that they didn't do good work, but the cinematographer for Mission Impossible Fallout, I feel like he at least deserves to be mentioned somewhere in this list.
Yeah, but once again, blockbusters. Well, I say
Black
that, but
Panther!
yeah, exactly. And Bohemian Rhapsody, even though it's a fail of a blockbuster, is still on the bloody list.
It was aimed as a blockbuster, and it's terrible. It's terrible.
Okay, keep going.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then there's the best documentary shorts and best documentaries, and you go, oh yeah, I should watch them. Oh, I never get time to watch them.
There you go. Best foreign language film. Cold War is there as well.
Okay.
Capernaum from Lebanon. Never Look Away. Roma again is on there.
Often,
Shoplifters from Japan.
like if you want to see good movies, that's often one of the best lists to follow in terms of good movies. If you can put up with subtitles, which I know some people have problems with, but I mean, seriously.
Film editing. Bohemian Rhapsody again for film editing.
Why?
I'm also.
I know why.
For me,
it's because it's music.
Yeah,
that's why it's there.
Yeah,
people find music edited into movies is a good thing, or is a hard thing to do. Thus, it shows quality.
Yeah. Also, my question. I put a question mark in my own mind for Black Klansman's editing.
That scene where they're in the hall.
Yeah, that scene in the hall is amazingly edited, but later on in the film, there are moments where the shots don't add up and they don't match.
That was my problem with Black Klansman. It's why it wasn't quite. As soon as I came out, it's like that. It felt like it could have been. It could have been tightened just a tiny bit more.
Yeah.
In terms of the actual
in some places
filmmaking,
and also, like, it could have breathed a lot more in some other places.
Yeah.
But other than that, solid film, solid editing job. But I don't. Yeah.
It also wasn't the director. Like for me, it was down to editing. Funnily enough.
And I feel like editing as well. Mission Impossible should also be on this list because the editing of some of those scenes are tight.
It is very tight.
And it's they don't miss beats, and they allow a lot of breathing room for some of the characters.
Is it on any of the
I don't think it is. No, it isn't. It's not on any of them.
Oh well.
Which is such a shame.
Meh.
I'm very disappointed.
I'm not disappointed. I accept that's the way it is.
Yeah. Given what's on the list.
So
also another one I don't agree with. Black Panther got nominated for Best Original Score. Half of the score was somebody else's music that was made before the film was produced.
So Guardians of the Galaxy #1 probably should have got a nomination.
It should have. I mean, if this is on the list now, then Guardians of the Galaxy should have been on the list.
There was some fantastic scores last year. Can't name them at the moment, but I just,
Avengers.
Yeah.
Avengers had a better score than Black Panther. I'm sorry. It just did.
Spidey had it. Is Spidey there?
No.
Because I don't expect score once again was it was the same. It was
the same type of score, but I agree it was better.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. Anyway, we've been going on for 57 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
We were trying to do this in 20, but I popped my lid.
Yeah. Wow.
Well,
so that is the nominations for 2019.
I'm looking forward to seeing who wins.
I am as well, but at the same time, I think this year I've probably been the most angry at some of these nominations.
I'm less angry because there are actually things on here that make me happy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Hereditary should have been on Best Picture.
Yeah. Should have been.
Well, that's our opinions. I wouldn't mind knowing what your opinions are.
Yeah. If you liked Bohemian Rhapsody, let us know if you think it deserved an award. No, don't. I don't want to hear about Bohemian Rhapsody. I just don't want to hear it.
Anything else? If there were other movies that you saw that you thought were fantastic and aren't mentioned by me or the list, if
you say Aquaman, I swear to God, I will come to your house and I will drown you in your own toilet.
Not a puddle in the middle of a car park.
We're going to talk about that later.
Okay. We're gonna have some fun today.
Yeah. So the podcasts that are coming up, we are going to do First Man, which came out on DVD and Blu-ray yesterday. The 22nd of January
in Australia.
And we also went to see Glass, the new film by M. Night Shyamalan, in cinemas last night, also on the 22nd of January. Came out last week. But we're going to be reviewing that as well, so keep your eyes and ears peeled for that. Because it's going to be a rocky ride.
That'll be fun. I'm actually looking forward to it. Keep telling us your favorite things of 2018. We want to know. This is Screen Movies. I'm Scotty. That's Jordan. And we are angry. Bye.
See you guys.